No, no, I'll send you the link. I'm already in. I'm already in. I'm sending you the link. Okay. We promised to be here today, and we are here to talk about the issue of respect. We are here, so tune in. You can share the live. We will be starting soon. Please share the live to as many people as you can so that we can start soon. Oh, sorry. I think I'm not audible. 1 minute. You getting me?
Yeah, getting you loud and clear. You can hear me?
Okay. Yes, I'm getting you clear.
Can you? Very good, very good. Okay, so no need of using it. Earpiece.
You can share the live. We are here live at the on this event, bringing to you live the program, the Hour of Respect. How do you respect people in the society? How do you respect the people in your environment? How do children respect their elders, or the elderly people?
That's what I feel. What kind of wind? But
Okay, we have Reverend James Andrew Lavla on the line. He's my co-host, and we will be bringing live to you the topic respect. And but he will introduce himself better so that you all can know him better. So just share the live wherever you are. Share the live. In a few minutes, we'll be starting up. Share the live in a few minutes. We'll be starting.
Lana, you rotate this thing, right?
Share.
Facebook.
Go on YouTube.
Facebook.
Okay, you can share the live. In a few minutes, we'll be starting. Share the live in a few minutes. We'll be starting. We are trying to connect. In a few minutes, we'll be starting. You can share the live. This is an interesting topic that you will not want to miss. Please share the live and come on board. In a few minutes, we'll be starting. The issue of respect is key to our society. Because I'm also sharing the live. In a few minutes, we'll kick off. In a few minutes, we'll kick off. You can share the live. Um, we need people on. Yes, you are coming. I'm seeing it. We need people on so that we can start this broadcast.
Is it up? And it's a strong. Can you get me?
Clear.
Yeah. In
Yes, I'm
sharing,
getting you.
with
Come again.
our audience, in sharing this live, we're trying to make some tests here. Will the audience be able to watch this live, or How is it shared?
Yeah, they are watching it live. I got few people in already. They are watching it live right now. You are
Because I
you are
shared, I shared,
around the world.
I shared, I shared on my timeline, but it is not showing live. Some just a graphic is showing there. On my timeline. This is what
Yeah,
shows on
yes, that's what will show. But when you click onto it, they are going straight to the page.
my, okay. All right. So
I'm seeing people
I just
coming in.
all right.
People
Okay.
in are coming small, small.
All right. Is Hannah there? Can you share it directly on my page? Is it a Facebook
You
page?
can share the live
Can you share
and
can you, can you share it on my timeline from your end? Let's see how it appears.
okay. I'll share it. Let me share it to you right now.
Okay. Get my iPad.
We're back on live. Okay, few people coming in. You getting me?
Strong, I can get you loud and clear.
Okay, I sent it to you already. You can share the live. In few minutes from now, we'll be starting, and then we kick off.
Strong, you send it to my messenger. I was thinking whether you could send it on my timeline.
No, you can take it from the messenger. You can share on your timeline.
Okay, that is done already.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is the first edition of this topic, the issue of respect with regard to our society. How do the younger folks respect the older ones? How do we respect one another in a society without any problem or confrontation? So you can share the live. In 5 minutes we will be starting. In 5 minutes from now, just keep sharing as you receive it. Just share it. We will start in 5 minutes. We are left with roughly about 4 more minutes. We'll be starting within 4 more minutes, so you can share the live. In roughly about 3 more minutes, time is going, so we will soon start. Keep sharing, keep sharing. If you're just joining, we say welcome, welcome, and we will be discussing the issue of respect with regard to our community, our society, our country. We'll be starting soon. So if you're just joining, you can also help to share this live. And in about 2 minutes and a half seconds, we'll be starting. Okay, I think we can keep the ball rolling. The rest will come in. Are you there, Reverend?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay, so if you're just joining, this is the first edition of this topic, respect, and we are dealing with this topic. When you get any other comment or anything you want to say, you can put it in the chat room, and we will view those comments and talk about it. Your input is needed within this presentation. Your input is needed so that we can move forward into the aspect of respect within our community, within our society. So if you are just joining, we say welcome. Thank you for coming in. Reverend,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe you can talk about yourself a little bit so that the audience can know you and know what you stand for and know who you are.
Well, I'm James Andrew Labla. I'm a minister of the Gospel of Christ. I I established an NGO in Liberia called Mentor Liberia, and this NGO is a peace building institution that is meant towards promoting values, that is moral values in our society, and it became imperative as a result of the experience that our country, Liberia, has been through during the civil crisis and how it affected the fabric of our society, which has to do with the first institution of the society, that is the family life, where all values are built fundamentally. And most of what we do is advocacy, awareness, as well as do some street engagements wherein we counsel, especially commercial street workers. So Mental Liberia operations have been existing since 2012. With regards to the ministry I work with, I'm the superintendent of the International Christian Fellowship. The International Christian Fellowship has its international headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, and other branches here in Liberia. I particularly worship with the branch at the ELWA community, and I also serve as university lecturer. I lecture at the University of Liberia. I also lecture at the Stella Maris Polytechnic University. I contribute to the Service of Higher Education in Liberia. I served once as the Director for Quality Assurance at the National Commission on Higher Education. And as a matter of fact, I propose the need for the establishment of the Department of Quality Assurance at the National Commission on Higher Education in 2012, and it became effective since 2014. I served there until uh, I finally have to transit formally to the University of Liberia, wherein I serve as the executive director of the Department of Quality Assurance that is just established at the University of Liberia. I find myself on this program, which I think is important at this time, that people of values in our society need to speak. We see that politics have turned to influence our word, and not only politics, but the issue of propaganda, how it's being used, and less values being given to the preparation of our generation for tomorrow. It's bleak to see how our generation is going to be. Within our context, or considering our context, we see that the younger generation Likewise, the very older ones whom we put in offices of leadership uh, lack basic moral values, such as respect. It is so simple in our country where leaders insult, and when they insult, they are applauded for such insult because whoever they insult, once that person may be of another group and they are being applauded, the society doesn't frown at insult any longer. That is disrespect. We are to respect our authorities. We are to respect our parents. We are to respect our instructors. We are to respect our elders. We are to respect ourselves. Respect is reciprocal. And if we see the value and the wealth that we give ourselves, we also will be able in turn to give that same value towards others. It's imperative that this conversation be discussed on the global level. And it's also very important that we make our voices heard to create awareness so that our society should see that it's needful in order to consider the basic moral values that will prepare our generation for tomorrow and that will promote harmony within our society. It will not be the best that people who are placed in the leadership lack basic moral values and they turn in turn unconsciously mentor those they see because as much as they are in leadership, whatever they do, others who see them think uh, they are doing the best. So let me take it um, at a break for the moment since I'm called to just say a little bit about myself, but I'm excited that this program has started and I'm sure we have more to talk about it. We also anticipate the contribution of our viewers, and seeing that it's needful so that this can be approached. Thank you.
That's the Reverend Lavla. Thank you there for that brief introduction. If you are with us on this platform, just type hi in the comment section and let us know that you are following us and you are with us along the way. You can just type hi in the comment section if you are with us. Joining us is another new face who is going to be heard globally. But anyway, she will introduce herself and what she stands for, who she is, and everything to the audience.
Hi, I am Hannah Christ Light Mark, and it's an honor to be part of this great organization or team. We are so much excited to talk about respect and to help our society. It is very crucial in these times that we know what to do in order for us to live the right life. It is very important that we learn the value of respect as we are discussing, and I would like for us to be attentive, to be able to drop some point down so that we can help to make this process easy. So thank you. I'm honored to be here and we are together.
Thank you very much, Mike. That was Miss Mike on the line. And of course, everybody know me. My name is Armstrong Moore. I'm the presenter of
I'm,
this
I'm, I'm
event.
welcoming
Come again.
Ms. Mike. You are welcome.
Thank you. You are welcome. You
Thank
are
you,
welcome
thank
as well.
you, thank you.
So the issue, the topic on the discussion is respect. Someone would like to ask, what is respect? What is respect? So how can we identify that, or how can we describe respect? What is respect? Is there anybody can come in?
Yeah, so as we are talking about respect and you are asking what is respect, I think respect for me, or
Yeah,
is
we're
a
talking
general
about respect.
definition,
Okay, based on
is
the
you having a
definition,
sense of confidence of your own worth, your own ability, and also having that intrinsic worth of other people, right? It is not only about you, it's about respecting yourself and also respecting others. That's the reason why you see a lot of people behave the way they behave, because they lack respect, because they were not trained that way from home. So that they just like disrespect others. Some of them were trained, but they didn't listen to the training. But at the end of the day, they end up doing their own thing. So respect is just having a sense of confidence of in your own ability and your self-worth. And it's how you see and view yourself as an individual. Thank you.
okay, Reverend, any input?
Thank you, Hannah. That is the basis from which we will form our discussion. I'm looking at the definition from the Oxford Language Dictionary that says a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And it continues to say, due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. So I'm using this as an authority of the definition with what Hannah gave as well, the wealth, the dignity you gave yourself and you give to other human being is just the regard that you have for them. So what is respect as a way of establishing that definition? So earlier on, I started to say that there are those who will see themselves with values, see themselves with self-esteem, see themselves with self-worth. And as they see themselves with that self-worth, with value and with self-esteem, they also see others likewise. More importantly, they see them as human beings. And religiously, biblically, they see them as people made in the image and likeness of God. So they see them as representation of God. In that regard, they gave them esteem, they gave them value, and that value dues respect. As a tradition we see in our society, which we need to simplify when we give what is respect a definition. Practical examples could be explained here. In our culture, we see that the younger people are to greet the older people first. It means that you esteem them, you regard them, you value them for who they are by their ages. When we were coming up, we were taught in school, when you see a female and a male walking, who will you speak to first? So our English teacher told us the first person you need to speak to is the female. And after you speak to the female, you can speak to the male. So they will always tell us ladies first. So they brought us up to give regard, to give esteem, to give value to women first. So in that regard. On the contrary, disrespect is disregard. Disregard is that which you see with lesser value. You do not give any worth to such. And since you disregard someone, when you watch some of those movies on the social media, on television, or even if you experience what happened during a crisis, when anyone wants to get at somebody in an awkward way, they use a particular language. Look at the monkey here. I don't know whether you've ever heard it. Look at these mosquitoes. Look at these cockroaches. So they have demeaned that human being. giving that person either no value or lesser value with an intention of displaying an act, just as you name it. Because if you see cockroach, what do you do with cockroach? You can kill cockroach. If you see a mosquito, what do you do with the mosquitoes?
You killed it.
You spray it up because it doesn't work living. So those who are trained to kill, they are trained with their mind prepared to see other human beings in a benign way, which means there's a feedback I'm getting. I don't know which of the phone. Yeah, thank you. You know, so I'm trying to set that example for us to establish our conversation, you know, for discussing respect. You see, so disrespect, like in our society, somebody would just insult a woman. Whose microphone? Are you monitoring something? I'm still getting feedback.
My mic is
Hello?
off. My mic is off, but I'm still getting the feedback.
Yes, I think it happens when you have two phones on at the same time when this program is being played. So sometimes that's what happens. So what I'm saying here is that uh, in our society, you see that some of the people who do not have regard for women will go publicly and start insulting. You know, that word insult is disrespect. You know, disrespect is that they demean women. And that is not cultural. These things are global values. So we should, respect is giving esteem, wealth, importance to other human beings just as you see yourself. And when you see people doing such, it also exemplifies, it shows that they themselves haven't yet seen their own esteem, their self-esteem, their self-worth. And that is why they demean others. You know, so these are just some examples I want to lead in giving a definition with clarity towards explaining what respect is. And this is prevalent in our society. It's prevalent in our society and a worth discussion wherein we have people who will just come up and insult. And when they insult, they are held in the society. Now, we will be discussing some of the causes, perception driven, you know, towards that. What are some of the causes that our society will hail people who disrespect others and use them as champion to lead them? So we now look at the fabric of our society, the first institution of our society, which has to do with the social institution, the family, and then we see another aspect of the social institution, the educational institution. We also see another aspect of the social institution, the political institution. We see the religious institution, and then we will see the economic institution. As much as that fundamental aspect has not been done within the home, wherein children are trained to give regards first to themselves, to give themselves that esteem, to give regards to others. There's a saying, charity begins at home. And train up a child the way he should grow, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. There is no doubt that when the child gets outside, since he was never taught how to show respect to his siblings in the home, or he never even, you know, show respect to his parents in the home, it's difficult for him to even go out there to respect his colleagues or friends, or even respect the teachers. Now, another thing again I will talk is that there are people or children who are brought up in homes, and there are children who are brought up in houses. And I want to get this clear for this conversation, that the society should know most people who are confident to come up publicly and show disrespect to another human being, irrespective of who the person is, those are people who are brought up in houses. So you have those who are brought up in houses and those who are brought up in homes. Those who are brought up in houses just slept in that house as a shelter
Wow. He'll be back, guys. I think we have a little internet problem. Not problem, but a little internet, something we got to resolve. But he'll be back soon. It's a brilliant discussion, and he was on point with the issue of respect and disrespect. Now he talked about those in the society, those from home, and those from houses. Now, of course, those from home will definitely be kind and be respectful. But those who were brought out in the houses may likely be the opposite of respect because they came up, many of them came up the amateur way. And so when they grew up now older, that act that was within them from little grew up with them. So the act of respect within them was lacking. I think that's what he meant to say about those from home and those from houses. But we are hoping to get him back early as we can. Ms. Mike, what is your input on the issue of disrespect and respect?
Please come again. You are sounding low.
What is your hold on one
Please
minute.
reiterate the question. I didn't get it. You were low. You are sounding low.
Okay, we got Reverend back on the line, so he was up front when he went out, so he will just continue from where he stopped, and then the next person can.
Yeah, I just wanted to set the pace of understanding why most of the behaviors in the larger society occurred as the basis for which we consider the foundation had been prepared. And I said that there are a lot of, those who demonstrate disrespect in society are people who are brought up in houses, and the house is a place of shelter where everybody sleeps, but there is no institution of discipline, and discipline has to do with training. So those who were never trained and they grew up by themselves, and nobody told them what to do, nobody told them how to greet, nobody told them just gave them any value in life. That is how they saw life to be at the larger society. So the home is the foundation where values are taught. So and unfortunately there are those who are parents who are ignorant of what to pass on, to the next generation. Some parents may think I'm doing my duty by sending the child to school, or I'm feeding the child, or I'm dressing the child. That is okay. That is not just okay. There are fundamental values that ought to be taught to the child at home. So this shows that some parents are totally ignorant of that. So, and because they fail to teach their children at home, the children were born in the houses, brought up in the houses, did things as they want to. They get out in a larger society. Whatever they see in a larger society, they think is the best practice of life. And that is how it goes on. So you have children who are not images of their parents, or who are not the kinds of their parents, because those parents are ignorant of doing such. And there are some parents who are early parents, they're born as teenagers and left their own, they were still under parental guidance and failing to stay there, and they were able to give birth to their children. They lack that mental development, they lack the information, they lack the knowledge. It's difficult to train up the child or pass any information to the child. You can only give what you have, so these are just some factors, and others are just there and just making their life. But in the home, The home is an institution wherein parents train up their children. They pass values onto their children. The children are taught, the home taught, they are taught what to do. They are trained to speak to one another. They are trained to speak to their parents. They are trained to appreciate, when their parents do something, just to say thank you. Thank you is an expression of appreciation or gratitude towards kindness. And then you know that this is not deserving, but I'm privileged to have this. So people who are brought up, or children who are brought up in homes, demonstrate that attitude in a larger society, and they show respect in a larger society. When they get out there, what has been taught to them in their homes is what they also show out there. So it's essential, very essential, that this topic be treated. We need to create this kind of awareness in our society. We need to make our society to shun or frown at people who shows disrespect. They are not good representation of the generation, because whoever plays a leadership role definitely plays a mentoring role, and they are a role model for generations that they lead and generations ahead of them. And if they are held for disrespect, it means that we as a nation hold no basic values. And that is why respect is cardinal for this discussion. So that is the, I just want to end to that point and give opportunity for other contribution.
Is it my network, or because I'm not getting Minister Sean? But concerning what Reverend was saying, hello? Are you getting me?
I'm getting you, Hannah, but I'm not getting strong.
Yes, myself, I'm not getting him. I don't know why. Your mic is muted. His mic is muted.
Sorry, yes, my mic was muted. I didn't recognize that. So with regard to what the Reverend said, any input from your end?
Yes, concerning discipline, he was talking about discipline, and I think it is very essential because, especially when we talk about the family institution, a lot of parents do not discipline their children, and even if others, like maybe their neighbor or elderly people around, want to help in disciplining their child, they get angry and get mad, and sometimes even go as far as warning those people, like, do not touch my child. I'm the one who got my child. I have the right to discipline he or she. And it is not right like that. The old people used to say during the 90s, they said it takes a village to raise a child. One person cannot raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. And I think that should be applicable now, even in our setting, because we find out that a lot of parents spare the raw and spoil their children. And it is not good. Discipline is very intentional. You might not be the only person disciplining your child. Others can help in the upbringing of your children. So if you're trying to discipline, rebuke, or correct your children, you should be able.
Armstrong, please mute your phone. There's a feedback as Hannah is talking.
I think he muted it already. Yeah, so I was saying, if someone is helping in disciplining your children or in the upbringing of your children, you should be appreciative. Do not go against the person. Like I said, do not spare the rod and spoil your child. it won't be fun, because at the end of the day, if they are referring, if they're looking at that child, they will always refer to you, and it is your name that will be going. She didn't raise her child well. She didn't do this. She didn't. This is the child of. This is the son of so and so. Like, they will refer to you, and it will not be good on your path. So I just, one of the main reason why children misbehave is because of their upbringing. Their parents deprive them of learning values, and we must know that our self-respect is rooted in our values, our belief system, and the way we carry ourselves. People see us, people know that we have respect, or that we are respectful people based on the things that we do, the way we carry ourselves, the conversation that we have, the choices that we make. So in order for us to live a disciplined life, in order for us to show others that we have respect, we must be able to have those basic values so that we can be able to be an example to others. Disrespect is not a good thing. Wherever disrespect is, there will always be issues, there will always be hatred. People will be divided. So one way we can come together and live in harmony as people, we should learn to respect others, to honor others. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
And for our
Thank you.
society,
Go ahead, Reverend.
supporting Hannah's statement, if you mute your phone, I think that will be making feedback too. Yes, supporting Hannah's statement, we need to build a society that is harmonious. We need to build a society that is harmonious. And to build a harmonious society, we need to show respect for one another. And also, parents need to take responsibility to know that parenting is not just about giving food to the child to eat. Parenting is not just about sending the child to school. Parenting is not just about, dressing the child. Parenting goes beyond that. Parenting is about replicating the values you have, producing your kind. And that kind are those values that you have to pass on to the child for the next generation. And part of it has to do with respect. And with such, it helps our society to become harmonious. Today, we have a lot of our youth with response aggressive behaviors. Instead of being harmonious, they are quick to react. Most people are not rational. They rather turn to be reactional. And our society should be a society that should be more rational than being reactional. Being reactional is when one just acts upon feelings. And when you act upon feelings, it's out of emotions, and you never thought about what the action will be, the consequences of the action will be, the reward of the action will be. You never thought about it, but your feelings led you to do such. And as a result, it brings about conflict in society. It increases aggression. So we ought to think about what we do and use the best approach in what we want to do to maintain harmony within our society. And it is also with regards to law, because if you respect, you will respect the law of the society. You won't be the law breaker, but you will abide by the law of the society. So I just want to support that. We have greater responsibility, and everyone needs to know their responsibility in the society and then do such in order to have a harmonious society. Thank you, Hannah. So I just wanted to contribute to what you are saying. Besides the can you pause that again? Okay, thank you. Besides the home, we also see the educational institution, which is cardinal for developing the child, providing training for the child, providing knowledge to the child. Now, when it comes to curriculum development, the curriculum is developed from the values of the society. considering the challenge that we have experienced in our own society, there is need to include, in the curriculum of moral education wherein the children are taught, these basic values in school, and they apply them, they practice them. Since most parents are ignorant of these values, the educational institution should also take the responsibility of doing such. The religious institution should stress the need for our society to be harmonious. There is need to educate our society. So there is need to be able to teach some of these values that our people will see, which is important. So all of these institutions together, I think when they approach such, we will see difference in our society. We will see people now begin to start seeing what should be upheld, who should be the ones that could be a good representation, because whoever you elect or select as a representative of your community, as a representative of your district, as a representative of your county, as a representative of your continent, as a representative of your country, that representation is a symbol of the collective values of the people. So if majority select or elect somebody who is rude, it portrays that rude person portrays what that society is, and that is what the society saw, and they were able to elect that individual, because whoever you put there should be a representation of your collective values. So it's important that we begin now to emphasize, we begin now to sensitize, we begin now to create this awareness, so that our society will see the need to be able to embrace the value of not only respect, but there are much more that we can talk about, such as responsibility. We can talk about care. We can talk about harmony. We can talk about integrity, and we can talk about resilience.
Yeah, thank you there, Reverend. That was brilliant. I like what Miss Mark said. It took the whole community to train up a child. Because when the child come up, 1 minute, let me bring her back in. Once the community train up a child, if that child comes up good within that community, the entire community is going to be proud of that child. And if that child comes up bad within that community, the community is going to suffer the consequence because of how they brought the child up. So the first responsibility of training up respect derived from the parents instilling respect in their children. The first responsibility is from the parent. And the second responsibility is from the institutions of which those children attend. They play a major role because most often the children are in school and they got few time to be home. So the institution plays a major role in the lives of the children, instilling discipline, and the parents as well. But we found out that most parents are not in the habit of training children or bringing up the children, instilling morals or values within the children. You find out that, especially in this 21st century or in this dispensation, a child will go out, get beaten by someone, comes home, tell the family or maybe their mother, and then the mother will say, "Oh, who beat my child?" And that mother will start rolling shirt sleeve up and looking for short trousers to wear, to go and react, while that individual has to lay hand on his or her child or her child. And that creates a negative impact within the life of that child. That child is growing up with something in his mind or in her mind. And at certain point, when that child shall have gotten big, or that child is grown up, what you instill within that child from his or her youthful age, you cannot get it out while that child is older. So those are the challenges we start facing now. You see a child now is big, and then there's no moral value in that child, or an elder person for that matter, no moral value, no respect, because of what was instilled in them from their youthful age. So the parents played, let's say, about 80%. 1 minute, please. Let me bring. Okay, so as I was saying, the parents plays maybe about 80% role in the child's life about bringing, instilling moral value, discipline. And then the next one, as I said, is the institution. But again, one family cannot train up a child. One family cannot train up, because maybe your heart will be into that child too much, and then you have to spoil that child or your children. So sometimes that children might err up outside, but then it is your responsibility to instill moral discipline. When you hear news, do not just act upon it or react. Find out what is it or what it is, and then try to set your child down. Look, in the 80s, in the 70s, we understood that a child could not even look in the face of the parent to say, "How are you doing? Hello." You know, that kind of reaction. And in other countries, I understand that when the younger folks is greeting the older ones, they will bow down, or let's say be humble. But nowadays, the child can even be walking, and while the parent is talking to the child don't even want to know, he don't even want to listen. He's just walking and say, "Well, you want your own." So those are what we're talking about instilling discipline. Once you install discipline, the society or the community will experience the benefit. So I pause there, Reverend or Ms. Mark. Any input?
Yeah, strong. You said something. I mean, that adds to it. Is the community responsibility in bringing up the child. Now we have a modern world that has brought up some challenges with regards to community involvement in training the child. But before I go there, you see, some children become, or adults become, liabilities to the community because they were not trained up the proper way. Liabilities to the community, they are a problem to the community. And there are some people who turn to become assets to the community. So you have community assets and you have community liabilities. So this one does not have to do with material, but it has to do with human values. There are people in the community who, in other terms, will say their upbringing, they are a blessing to the community. Everybody looks up to them. And a practical example would be that you have a nurse in the community, and that nurse attends to a whole lot of people. Many people do not necessarily have to get to the clinic because somebody is there who has some values to be able to attend to people whenever they are sick. They are a blessing to that community. So there are people who are assets, to a community, and everybody looks to them. There are also people, on the contrary, who are liabilities to the community. They are community problem. There are those who, become thieves in the community, and everybody suffers from it. Everybody suffers from it. Armed robbers in the community. I mean, it will bring fear upon the community, and nobody will be at peace. So it's a collective responsibility for everyone to contribute by training up the child the way he should grow, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. It also brings safety to you. It brings protection to you. It makes sure that if we have more people in a community who are assets, you will see development will take place easily because more responsible people will be in our community. People in our community will contribute more because of the values they have, and you will find that community growing rapidly because everybody is contributing to the community. Let us lower it for a better, a practical understanding to the family as a community. Now, if you have family members who are responsible in that family, you will see that they help the family to become more dependent. They are asset to the family. They are blessing to the family. But when you have family members who are liabilities, just creating problem, because of that family name, somebody will always be at the police station. Somebody, they are taking someone at the police station. Now, the money that you're taking to go to police station to free someone, or the money that you're taking to go to the court to bond someone, or the money you're using for this purpose, that money will have been used for family project, and you will see how that family, will become a wealthy family. But there are some people who are just there to bring poverty to the family because those values were not given to them, and they are draining the family resources. Now, looking at the family as an institution where everybody is contributing to the development of the family, where everybody is responsible, you see that family comes up better. Now, looking at it at a larger society, let us see the nation of Liberia. How many, people who are liabilities to the country as compared to asset to the country? Sometimes we say, oh, our country is poor, our country is poor, our country is. How many people are contributing? How many people are asset to our nation? How many people are problems to our nation? So this is a collective responsibility. If our country must forge ahead, working on the minds of people is far more better to improve our country as compared to just giving them skills. Somebody could be given skill, but they will not understand the value of the skill that they have. During the disarmament process, there was a kind of activity that they called DDRR, and after the disarmament, they will take them to a particular area and give them skills, provide them skills so that when they get out of that area, they can now be self-dependent. They can do things for themselves, and then it helps change their minds and so forth. Something that was lacking in it.
Sorry there for that break in. We hope to get Reverend back as soon as possible. But okay, he's back. Hold on 1 minute.
I think these are some of the technical problems that we face here. You can get me? Hello, am I on now?
Yes, you are on. You are live. So you can continue from where you stopped.
Thank you. So, yes, I was talking about the disarmament. I was talking about the disarmament process that took place in Liberia in the in 2003 or so forth. It was a good program. The program was intended to give ex-combatants skills, and those skills were meant for them to be able to have livelihood because the arm was what they used at the time to survive. But the skills were meant to give them some livelihood. What was lacking in the whole project is that there was no program of values to work on the minds of those guys who were there. So there were some of them who went through the program quite well. And as they walk out, even materials that were given to them, they sold it. And there were some of them who had the cards for the program, they sold it. They did not see the value into it because their minds had not changed. So this is all about changing mind, changing attitudes. If the minds of our people can be changed for the better, then we can be sure of a better future for our nation. And this is the reason why we decide to start with the discussion on respect, the values that you have for yourself, the values that you give yourself. It is not just giving value to yourself, but also giving values to others, esteeming others, giving values to others, in many ways appreciating others, and in appreciating others, complimenting others, we will live in a society that is harmonious, and it will help to be able to transform our society. So I agree with you. Like I said, it's the collective responsibility of the community. Notwithstanding, I also mentioned that there is a challenge here. The challenge here has to do with the issue of globalization on human rights. Some of our cultural values are taken away from us. In the community today, some parents do not have the right to discipline any person's child for any reason. And if you did that, you could be taken to the police. The law could hold you. So now everybody looks to themselves instead of looking at the other. So that collective value is no longer held because of the human rights. Even within the home, there are some societies where parents do not have the leverage of disciplining. I use the word disciplining to mean punishing their child for what they would term as domestic violence. The child has a right to take telephone and call the police, and the police can take action, against the parent for what the child may accuse the parents for. Then that aspect of instilling value in the child, for the scripture, the Bible says that foolishness is born in the heart of the child, but the rod of correction drives it away. Some of us came up as children. We know what we did. We were stubborn enough to do certain things, and our parents spanked us. They spanked us because we did it repeatedly. Before they spanked us, they had advised us. But then there was a punishment, which was a kind of negative reinforcement used for us to know that this ought not to be. And it corrected us. It corrected us to be the better persons that we are today. So all these are part of the challenges that we have, and we should know that instead of instilling or inflicting pain on our children, the best thing to do is to work on the minds of our children. Their minds can be changed. Let them understand what values are, and they will not be able to trill in the way that others are following. But the basic should be at the home. The family is one, the school is another, because we're talking about the community, holistic training. The school needs their approach through the curriculum. The family need to know that there should be family norms that they should hold to in bringing up the child. The religious institution also needs to teach that. Now, these are key institutions in developing the child holistically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and so forth. So in the family, the child is there. Now, another challenge again, we could go further to talk more and more and more and more and more. Another challenge again, we are in a world that everyone is so busy. We have to meet up with family demands. For example, you have 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night, 24 hours. Out of the 24 hours, how many working hours do you have? You leave the home. Let's assume that you have 8 hours or 10 hours. You are out there. And when you come home, you have limited time with the children, either the children in bed. So not much time have been given to the children. Now, to produce your kind, it cannot be through someone else. It has to be done through relationship. There should be time that we ought to spend with the children, in advising them, in talking to them, in interacting with them, in communicating with them, trying to know what is their mind, what they have learned, what are some of the new things to correct some errors that they might have, gathered from the open society. But not much time is spent with them. Now, day after day, weeks after weeks, months after months, year after year, the child is being developed in a different world. And as a result, the child might come out to be something else. So we are having this conversation, which is informative, which is educative, and we are doing this to create an awareness to see that we use the community, we all, religious institution, educational institution, the family as an institution, we all have a role to play in the development of making our community or our people better by working on their minds, changing their minds and changing their attitudes by instilling respect. And everybody should know that we have a responsibility. If everybody plays their role, our society could be a better place.
Well, thank you. That was a brilliant point. And if we keep on, we'll keep going, because the topic is huge with regard to respect. But I think this is the time that we need to go back to the 70s and to the 80s, because in those days we often received discipline. But in these days, so we have to switch. That's why we are on board talking about this. We have to install moral value, especially the parents and the community. We have to install moral value in our children. Again, as Reverend said, it's a collective effort, especially parents in the home. Once you leave your children all by themselves and then you go out, that child or those children will come out the way he or she feels in the community. And that's how we start encountering all of these moral value lacking and everything. So it's a collective effort. Parents need to work on it. Father, mother, even though we have a time to go and make ends meet for the family, but we can talk about it, to stay home once in a while to discipline or check on the children and see how they're doing and what value they're still carrying. Miss Matt, anything else to add on it?
Yeah, so I have a story concerning what you and Reverend said about the community. If the child does not come up well or is not raised well, it becomes a problem. That child becomes a threat to the community. I have this story about the place I used to live before we left. There was this lady, she had 3 children, 3 boys, and they were all rogues in the community. So like she used to go sell in the market, but they were big boys. Whenever she comes, like people say, oh, your child did this, your child stole from this person, or the stealing occur and your child is a suspect or your children are suspect, she will always get mad and she defend her children. She said her children can't do those things. They can't be that kind of people. She always she defended her children always whenever she received a complaint. So it was this day, because it becomes so that kind of a way in the community. Everybody had tuned window. Everybody windows, like they were all tuned up. The children see every night. Nobody was safe in that community. Every night they go to your house, tear your windows, see things. So there was this day they went to go see at night and they were caught. And the community, they didn't back them or they didn't relent. They beat them and they were almost like to be killed. It was the chairman of the community that begged those boys. And other people that were around, they said that's how she brought her children up, because we went there, they were already big, they were big boys. They said whenever her children like misbehave in the community, she's not around when she comes. When they gave complaints, she will always like defend her children and say her children cannot do this, cannot do that. And when they beat them, I think it passed 1 month, we heard that her other son died. He went to go see somewhere else and they killed him. 2 of her sons were in the community, they died, and the other one left the community. So that's it. If your child is not raised well, the community now, like they become a threat to the community. That's how it is. So I just wanted to share that story. And I saw another quote to those that are just like thinking, and I think it's relevant to this topic. It's a quote by Intelligence. There's a group on Facebook, and I just saw this quote is like essential to this topic. And it says that if someone respects you, respect them. If someone disrespects you, still respect them. Do not allow others' action to reduce or decrease your good manners, because in the end you are representing you are not representing others. So whatever people do to you, respect them, regardless of their religion, regardless of their status, of who they are. Respect them. You are not doing it because of them, you are doing it because of you. You got an image to protect. You cannot react and demoralize yourself. Your respect is rooted in your moral, your belief system, and your values. So if someone disrespects you, you don't have to disrespect them back, because it will make you no different from that person. So even if they disrespect you, always put yourself in a place to respect them, because you are representing you in the end. You are not representing them. So thank you.
Okay, thank you there for that brilliant explanation. We've covered the issue of moral value with the children, but Reverend, you see there are other, even mothers, fathers nowadays. When they open their mouth, they are not children, no, they are elderly people. But when they open their mouth, you feel they borrow the insertive dictionary from, I don't know which one of the universities that has that other dictionary. So if those parents bring out their children, how do you expect those children to react within the society? Because when you interact with them and you hear from them, apparently you'll be on your way, because what they will tell you, you will not even want to hear it. So Reverend, what do you think can be an advice to those kind of people who are already parenting children? What do you think can be an advice, a possible advice for them? Because they are not small again, they are already grown up. So how can we relate to them, Reverend? Oh, okay, hoping that he will get back early. But okay, he's back. Hold on 1 minute. So as I was saying, what do you think would be a possible advice for parents who, I don't even know how to term it, but who borrowed the insertive dictionary from a university to train up their children? What do you think would be a possible advice for them?
You know, strong is so disheartening. It's so disheartening, especially for those parents who even come on the social media and have a common language of insulting others and their parents. That is a recording. It's a recording that their children see. Can you imagine what it is like? Who are they parenting? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It is disgusting only for and to those who have values, But those who do not have values, they do not have problem with it. But those with values have serious problem with such, because that's record, that's recording. It is there to show you. You are not only insulting your children behind the screen, you are insulting on the screen. So it shows that you are a mentor of the children you are bringing up. The children you are bringing up see that what you are doing is best for them. Besides the children seeing you being the best for them, you are their hero by coming up on social media to be able to rain and shower insult. Now, as you shower insult, you have a wide audience that employs you, a wide audience that cherishes you. So then, of course, those children see that as being good, and definitely that is the example they are going to follow. And we started by saying this, that the foundation of such people were brought up, they were brought up in houses. Such people were brought up in houses. They were not brought up in homes. So such a people, is even difficult for you to correct them. When you correct them openly, they will rain insult on you, just as the salt came upon Sodom and Gomorrah. And you will regret why you even corrected them, because they have no remorse for such. They were never trained in that manner. But if anybody have value, and because of of emotions, they did something contrary, you corrected them, they will appreciate that and even express their remorse and regret for what they did and move forward. So such a people in our society, as a religious person, I would just say pray for such a person, that they will be like Paul, who was on his way to Damascus when Jesus arrested him. But if you respect yourself, don't get in the path of such people who will rain salt on you like Sodom and Gomorrah before you turn to assault. But this is one of the approaches that we are now using, because when we are able to sensitize the society, when we are able to create awareness in the society, when we are able to make the society understand what these values are, when such a people find themselves doing such and the society frowns at them, they are going to get away from such habit. But because the society is applauding them, that is how they are gaining their fame and their popularity, and feel that they can be healed that way. But we need to use this to sensitize the society, to even diffuse and to change the minds of people, to know that it's not the best way of life. There are moral values, there are universal values, there are global values that we need to hold to as human beings. And with such, I think when society frowns at them, change will take place as well.
So the only thing we can do is to help to change mind and change the attitude of people. Then when their minds have been changed, anyone who is coming in now with profane languages, those people will push towards them, because the society doesn't need those languages. And I believe
it is strong. Sorry for the interruption. We affect every aspect of the society. Religiously. I mean, when I talk to the pastors, I talk about character and charisma. Character and charisma. There are many ministers who build so much on the charisma. The charisma has to do with the gift, and there are some of them who even go for 40 days of fasting and prayers, and for that gift manifestation to take place, and wonderful things happen. And those wonderful things happen, glory be to God, for the life of people who are affected by those wonderful things. But something that they do not take key about their ministry is the development of character. You see, there's a saying, the gift opens doors for you, but the character keeps you in that room. So there are many people who really have the gift. Some of them are really gifted. We may not question how those gifts are, but you get to know the difference about the gifted manifestation from the production of the character. Some of them, their foundations are not good. Some of them, it shows that even the gift they have, the source of that gift. Jesus Christ says, by their fruit, you shall know them. That fruit has to do with character. It's not really the gift and the manifestation. So there are some ministers who have a very poor development when it comes to their character formation. They do not concentrate on their character, the kind of character you have to have. We're talking about values. Some of them do not even respect their congregation. Some of them do not even respect human beings. Some of them do not even respect people. So it goes across. It goes across. So this needs to be, and such a people who, thousands and thousands of people have been reaching out to. Who are you to go and tell them, look, you have to work on this? They feel that they can, they have arrived, and they will rain down salt and pepper on you by you telling them they have to, develop their character because they already have the theme. It's the same in our larger society. There are people who have theme. You don't have to be a minister. You don't have to be a preacher of the gospel, but you have been able to insult, and a lot of people have applauded you for the insult because the fabric of the society where the family needs to build that value is no longer. So everybody sees that and heals that. And if you go and tell them this is the wrong thing you are doing, they're going to rain it on you. So, but what we are doing by using the social media and other means is to help the minds of people to understand that this is not the rightful approach in life. There are better ways and better values that people could have in life that could make you to be a better person than being somebody who have low self-esteem or devalue others and all of that. So I'm sure that this is going to bring about change. And once people begin to start seeing that there's a better way, they are going to frown at the other way they saw, and those people will decide to change for better instead of continuing that way. But it's not advisable even to approach them because they have been awarded for their insults already. They have been awarded for their disrespect already. But we can teach them, so this is the better approach.
Ms. Ma, any important things there, Reverend, for that word? I think character pays a lot. Value pays a lot. Even if you're a pastor, the gift is one thing, but moral value is another thing within the line of the pastorate. So it pays a lot. And I believe most of the pastors who lacking that moral value needs to go back for education on that identical aspect, because you can't devalue anybody anyhow because of the gift or because of the calling. You can't devalue anybody and just look them upon them or maybe say something to them that will hurt the person's feeling. That's not what God called us to do. But anyway, let's not go there. For that, we keep telling the people how they should renew their mind from these profanative words and things. Miss Ma, any input? But again, before you come in, this is just the first edition. This is just the first edition of this. This is a continuous series. Every Sunday at about 5 o'clock Liberian time. So if you are anywhere part in the world, just calculate Liberian time 5 o'clock p.m. Convert it to your time. What time will it be, or what time it will be? Just follow us on that, at that time. Now, if you are here with us in the comment section, you can just send in your comment or just step high. If we know that you stay here with us, just step high or send in your comments. We will read it. If you want us to address it now, because we will soon be wrapping up. As I said, this is the first section, the first series. We're just starting today. And this is a continuous series trying to instill moral value into the life of people, that they will understand and change their mind and change their attitude. So this is the first series. We'll start coming up next Sunday and the following Sunday and the following Sunday. So type in your comments now and we will be waiting or glad to see them. Ms. Mark, any input?
Yes, so as we are wrapping up, I just want to say that you cannot help someone who does not want to be helped. So what we are doing here is the best strategy we are using, providing awareness, the requisite information so that they can have a transformed mind. Now, our duty is to provide the information. If you choose to use it, it's up to you. If you do not choose to use it, it's up to you. But what we can do is provide you the requisite information to tell you that you need to have values, you need to live up to your values. Disrespect will not carry you anywhere, but it will just like hinder you from reaching the places that you are to go. So I just want to say this to everyone that is watching: desire to change. If you are in that habit, desire to change, and like put these informations that we are giving you, put it to use so that it can be of benefit to you. Thank you.
Thank you, then, Ms. Mark, for that word. Um, as I said again, this is the first section. We've gone over an hour, 30 minutes. We've gone over an hour, 30 minutes, and gradually we are wearing down. So you can put in your input, what you want to say to us on this platform. You can just step your comment in, and if you want us to look at it, we can read it out and discuss it as well. But starting from next Sunday, the real series starts. And so we anticipate audience on this platform starting from next Sunday so that we can discuss this topic and be able to deal with it in depth. So anything wearing for anything else?
Well, I want to, first of all, I want to thank all of our viewers who started with us today, who show interest, and to also encourage people to keep tuned. By the grace of God, we will continue with this every Sunday, and we will be open to receive your input. It is our responsibility collectively to transform our community, to transform our country, to transform our continent, and to transform our nation. And let us see that this is the time that we have to bring about that transformation. We are not bringing strange doctrine to anyone. We are bringing moral, universal, global values that when you uphold, you can be regarded wherever you go across and around the world. It can favor you, it can change you, change your life for better. We should see that the trend within which our nation, is taking with regards or less regards to values is not a better trend. But we now can be a generation of leaders who will bring about transformation, and you can be a part of this generational transformational leadership to be able to contribute to such discussion. And the discussion we will be discussing on as we started today, we will continue with it next week and other times going on. We will be discussing on respect. We will continue to show respect for one another, to one another. Responsibility, we all have responsibility. We have to play our role as responsible citizens, as responsible people of our community, of our family, by contributing what is expected of us. We should also know that we have to care for ourselves, care for others, care for our environment. Our city is so dirty. We cannot just sit and depend upon government to do it all. It's because of the lack of morals that cause our city to be dirty. If we were cleaning in our homes well and cleaning our yards well, then our city will be clean. I mean, we don't have to get our yards dirty and expect the government to come and clean it. So all of these things are things that are taught from the home. So everybody sees that they have a responsibility towards that. We don't have to clean our yard or clean our houses and dump the dirt in the street and says that the government is going to clean it up. You know, we've been in other countries where everybody takes the responsibility to clean their environment. We will be discussing more about that regarding care. We have a responsibility to care for our country. We ought to be patriotic, irrespective of which government you are part of, which political party you are part of. This medium
Wow. We hope to get Reverend Lavla back to complete his statement or what he's saying. I like what he said. It's not about doctrine. We're not into any doctrinal series. This is about instilling moral values. And moral values is very important, very essential to our community, to our global world, to any part of the world. Moral value is very, very, very is very good. Even pastors, whoever leaders, the gift can be there, but moral value is very important in everyone's life. So we're hoping to get Reverend back. Miss Mark, any climax from you?
You have said it all, and Reverend also have said it all. I'm just like asking our viewers to continue to tune in. There will be other interesting topics that we'll be looking at and educating people on. It might be a help to them. They can share so that others can also benefit from these discussions that we will be having. We pray and hope that everybody will be a part. This will not just be your last time, your first and your last time. You always tune in to listen to these discussions so that so that it can be a help to you and you can also be able to help others. So that's what I have to say, and thank you for creating this space. It's time for us to talk to people, for us to impact our society.
Thank you as well for your input. Your input is highly needed in the community, in the society, in the global world. And as we said, this coming Sunday will be the next section. We will be going a little in depth into instilling values, moral values into our lives and into the younger folks. And in every aspect or in every society area, we'll be talking about the in-depth of this topic. So tune in this coming Sunday, and every Sunday at 5 o'clock Liberian time, 12 American and Canadian time, 4 a.m. Monday morning and Australian time, 8 p.m. Turkish time. Those are the time you can tune in for the topic honor discussion. Again, once more, we say thank you. And we've gone over an hour, almost 2 hours now. And we hope after this section, this program is going to be shared to others to listen to and get the knowledge from it and be able to instill it into their lives. Once more, we say thank you. Anything else, Ms. Mark, that you want to say?
Thank you. I think I'm done for now.
Okay. Hopefully, Sunday, tune in 5 o'clock Liberian time. Again, thank you for being here with us, and share this live video to the audience, that people will listen to these messages and be able to instill moral value in them. We say thank you. And we are out for now. We'll be back on Sunday. Thank you to all the audience.